Hello everyone, welcome to Pravala's Ekalavya, and in Lucent Publication Series we have this part 8 Biology. In this first chapter, Introduction of Biology. What is biology? It is a branch of science in which living beings are studied. Living beings का मतलब human, animals and plants etc. which have life in itself. Bios means life, logos means study. Therefore, study of life is called biology. This is first introduced by Lamarck and Treviñus in 1801. Biology has two main branches. One is botany, another one is zoology. Botany means study of plants, zoology means study of animals. Animals which includes human beings and non-human. Botany, Theophrastus is known as father of botany. Aristotle is called father of zoology as well as biology. So biology is nothing but study of botany plus zoology. And these are important terms related to biology and sciences. Study of this thing, like see, dermatology, study of skin. These things you should be aware of. If you are not able to understand this, you can by heart it as it is, because in examinations like SSC or any multiple choice questions relevant objective type questions, they may ask what is the science relevant to study of skin. Nietzsche, they can provide some options like dermatology, veterinary science, etc. etc. So in that you should pick one part of science stream. So you should be aware of that, or you can by heart it directly. I'm directly coming to this part. What is living? The word living cannot be defined. Living we cannot determine, and it is living organisms mostly use of solar energy. There are certain characters by which living can be distinguished from non-living. Acha, what is living and what is non-living? Here I am taking this example of living and non-living with this picture. Here we can see a bear and teddy bear. Bear we have some aspects, and for teddy bear we have different aspects. Bear, it can move, it can grow, it can pretend itself like that, but teddy bear, it is lifeless and it can't move, it can't increase its external personality. So what is the difference? First one, growth. Increase in the number of cells or mass is called growth. So it can increase its body mass. Like uh, uh, if you take children also, from children to adolescence age, you can observe the change in their external body. And reproduction. Living organism produce young one of their same kind. Metabolism. Chemical reaction occurring inside the living cells. So they have metabolism. And response of stimuli. Living has ability to sense condition of their surrounding and respond to the stimuli. For example, someone is going to slap you, then you will immediately react. This is called response of stimuli. And for example, you can take this thing, when we touch leaves of touch me not plant, they close. This movement are called sensomanic movement. See, if you observe this picture, you can know the, see, this is touch me not plant. When you are going to touch that, it is responding to your action. So this is called seismonetic movement. Next, classification of organism. There are millions of organisms. It is impossible to study each individual separately. Classification means to categorize organisms into different groups. Study of an individual of a group gives the idea of rest of the members of that group. Linnaeus divided all organisms into two kinds, Plantae, Animalia. In his book Systema Nature. The foundation of modern classification system was laid in the life of classification system started by Linnaeus. Therefore, Linnaeus is called a father of taxonomy due to disputed position of organisms like bacteria, virus, fungi, euglena. There is a need of reconsideration of system of classification. The book Genera Plantarum was written by Bentham and Hooker. And next, kingdom classification. We have this living being classification into 5. It can be represented like this. See, if you observe this picture, we have this Monera, Protista, Animalia, Fungi, Plantae. All these 5 are considered as 5 kingdoms. 5 kingdom classification was proposed in 1969 by R.H. Whittaker. The criteria of classification organism into 5 kingdom are complexity of cell structure. So it is based on cell structure, complexity of body of organism, mode of nutrition, lifestyle and psychogenetic relationship. In these living organisms, we have this classification called Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Monera. It includes all prokaryotic organisms like bacteria, cyanobacteria, archaeobacteria and filamentous bacteria also come under this kingdom. All organisms of this kingdom are microscopic. We can't see these Monera organisms directly. We can observe these things under a microscope. If you see this picture, this thing, bacteria, see, we have these different types of bacteria. Next, Protista. This kingdom includes unicellular form usually found in aquatic habitats. Aquatic habitat means water sources. On the basis of mode of nutrition, they are autotrophic, parasitic and saprophytic. Autotrophic means they can live on themselves and parasitic means they live on other species, dependents. And saprophytic, they are dependent, at the same time they can live by themselves also. Diatoms, flagellates and protozoa come under this kingdom. Euglena have both heterotrophic and autotrophic mode of nutrition. So it is placed between plant and animal. So again I am going to this picture for your kind observation. See, Protista. In this Protista, this is heterotypic, that is heterotypic. They can depend on themselves. And this is parasite. They are dependent on other species. Like if you observe ocean corals. Corals means in ocean bodies we have these colorful plantations underneath the ocean. Yeah, that is called coral reefs. They are depends on plant and both are interdependent. So this is Protista kingdom. Again back to the class. Fungi. This kingdom includes non-green plant. It has saprophytic nutrition and growing on dead and decaying organic matter. The cell wall is composed of chitin. Example, mushroom, mukhar, albogo. These are related to fungi. Again, I am going to this picture. If you observe, if you put a wet bread anywhere in dark place, you can after 3-4 days you can observe black color fungi plants above that bread particle. See this thing, mushrooms which you can eat, and mushrooms is somewhere around, they are poisonous also. So this type of kingdom known as fungi. Fourth one, plantae. This kingdom includes all plants except algae, diatoms, fungi and members of Monera and Protista. See, if you observe this, algae, diatoms, fungi, these are related to previous kingdoms, except that each and every plants on this earth related to plantae. Animalia, almost all animals comes under this kingdom except protozoa, because protozoa already considered in Protista kingdom, right? See, protozoa come under this Protista kingdom. Again I am going to this picture. So first one is bacteria, Monera, and second one is Protista, which include plantations, plant related and animal related. Next fungi, next plants, next animals. Animals includes human beings also. And binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature means alias. Suppose I am SSN Lalita Prasad, but in nearby society they used to call me Lalita. So short name versus full name, or for anything we have normal name versus scientific name. These two type of consideration called binomial. Bio means two, nominal means names. So binomial, two names. There was the need of uniform international naming of organism. In biology, every organism is given two proper names. The first name is genus name, always started with capital letter, and the second name is species, started with small letter. For example, scientific name of human is Homo sapiens. Homo is name of genus and whose one species is sapiens. Basic unit of classification is species. So Carolus Linnaeus is the father of taxonomy. Who introduced this? Carolus Linnaeus. Just observe these examples. For man, Homo sapiens. Cat, Felis domestica. Mango, Mangifera indica. Gram, Cicer arientinum. And frog, Rana tigrina. Rice, Oryza sativa. Mustard, Brassica campestris. Like that, we have this normal name attached with species name. Next being one more thing. So in these scientific names somewhere important, because in SSC CGL exams they are asking species name with this is relevant to which type of species, like that. If you can by heart it also, or directly you can understand these scientific names. Next concept, study of cell. Okay, study of cell is called cytology. Cell, what is cell? Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. For every living being, we have crores and lakhs and crores of cells united, and they are forming a human being, or they are forming a life. The word cell was first introduced by British scientist Robert Hooke in the year 1665. The smallest cell is microplasma, Gallisepticum. Gallisepticum is a microplasma and it is the smallest cell. Longest cell is human body is neutron. The biggest cell in egg of ostrich. Okay. Main features of the cell theory. So what are the features of cell? All organisms are composed of cells. Body of every organism is made of cell. Each cell arises from pre-existing cell. We have already one mother cell. From that they can generate baby cells like child cells. Every organism starts its life from single cell like egg. It is the one cell. From that egg, this every organism going to form. Cell is of two kinds, prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell. First thing, prokaryotic cell. These are primitive cells having three basic structures of typical cell but lack nuclear membranes. They don't have nuclear membranes. What is this nuclear membranes? I will explain in next further classes. Just remember this, prokaryotic cells don't have nuclear membranes. Nuclear material is present in an region of cytoplasm called nucleoid. Other membranes bound organelles are absent such as mitochondria, lysosome, Golgi bodies, etc. Example, virus, bacteria, cyanobacteria or prokaryotes. Number of mitochondria in bacterial cell is 0. So in bacteria, they don't have mitochondria. The smallest non-prokaryotic organism is mycoplasma. Next one, eukaryotic cell. These are complete cell which contain membranes, bound, organelles and nucleus. So, membranes, organelles and nucleus, everything is present in these eukaryotic cells. Unicellular and multicellular plant and animals have eukaryotic cells. The biggest single celled organism is Acetabulariae. Nucleus contain chromatin made up of DNA and histone protein. Nucleus is present inside nucleus. So for this we have different differentiating column. For this cell observation I am going to explain what is mitochondria, nucleus, etc. etc. For that I am going to open this picture. See. If you observe these two, one is eukaryotic and another one is prokaryotic. In eukaryotic, we have this mitochondria, nucleus, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome. See here ribosome present, cell membranes present. In this cell membranes absent. Cell wall is present, cell wall is absent. And nucleoid present, nucleoid absent. This is the difference. So if you want, you can observe these pictures. Going to class. Difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes versus eukaryotes. Size of cell is generally small. Size of cell is generally large. Nucleus absent, nucleus present. It contains single chromosome which is circular in shape. It contains more than one chromosome. Membranes bound cell or organelles are absent. Cell organelles present. Cell division takes place by fission or budding. Cell division takes place by mitosis and meiosis. See, all this terminology in next class or in this class itself I am going to explain. Don't bother about it. Once these terminology is explained, again I will come to these prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Don't bother about it. Okay. Directly I am going to this structure of typical cell. For this I am going to open this picture. for your understanding. See, if you observe this one, this is a plant cell. See, we have this cell wall, outer part is called cell wall, internal part is called cell membranes. See, if you observe this here, here they have provided cell membranes. Okay, so cell wall, cell membranes, and internal parts. Each and every part we have this explanation, so don't bother about it. Cell wall, first thing, in plant cell there is a rigid cell wall which is non-living and freely permissible. It is made up of cellulose or chitin. See, cell wall is made up of cellulose or chitin. It provides shape and rigidity to the cell. So what is its use? Provides shape and rigidity to the cell. Means strength. It will provide strength. If you observe, see, it is in plants only. For animals, we don't have this cell wall. Okay. In this class itself, we have this animal cell versus plant cell differentiation. There you can observe that. Cell wall. In plants only we have cell wall. It is made up of cellulose and chitin. It provides shape and strength to the cell. Next, cell wall of bacteria is made up of peptidoglycan. Sorry for the pronunciation. Peptidoglycan. Cell wall of the bacteria made up of peptidoglycan. Plant wall made up of cellulose or chitin. Okay, don't be confused. Next, cell membranes. It is also known as plasma membranes, which form the outer covering of animal cell. See, we have cell wall for plant cells also, and cell membranes for outer covering of animal cell. In plant cell we found within the cell wall. I think you have seen this one in picture itself. See, this is cell membranes. Okay, coming back. After this, see, plant cell versus animal cell. In plant cell, we have double layer. One is cell wall, another one is membranes. Okay, but in animal cell, we have only membranes. Okay, you got the, I think you got the point. Next, protoplasma. What is protoplasma? The whole fluid represent inside the plasma membranes is protoplasma. Plasma membranes nothing but cell membranes. Okay. So, the fluid present inside the cell membranes is called protoplasma. The name protoplasma is given by Purkinje in 1839. Protoplasma is made up of various chemical substances like water, ions, salt, organic molecule. It is the living part of the cell. This protoplasma divided into two parts. So, here I am going to click this one. Yeah, protoplasma. See, if you observe this thing, this is the cell membranes, outer layer. Inside this we have this pink liquid. Here they are represented in pink color. but it is in real life, it is not in pink color. Okay, so sorry, cytoplasma plus nucleus is equal to protoplasma. See, this is nucleus and these dots are cytoplasma. In this we have this liquid form called protoplasma. Okay, going back. So here they have given protoplasma is divided into two parts, cytoplasm and nucleoplasm. The fluid found outside the nuclear membranes, the fluid found inside the nuclear membranes. See, okay, sorry guys, I think it is wrong picture. In this only we have this. Yeah. See, observe this thing. Plasma inside the nucleus. See, this is nucleus and this is nucleus plasma, and this is cytoplasma. Both are considered as protoplasma. Ninety-nine percent of protoplasm is made up of oxygen 76%, carbon 10.5%, hydrogen 10% and nitrogen 2.5%. I think they won't ask these percentages in exam, but they may ask what is protoplasma or what is cytoplasm and nucleosome. They may ask these equations like that. And 80% of protoplasm is water. This thing they may ask. Protoplasm maximum percentage consists of water. Okay, the ratio of inorganic and organic compound found in protoplasm is 81:19%. Next, mitochondria, discovered by Altman in the year 1886. These are cylindrical, rod-shaped or spherical structure found in cytoplasm. I'm going to show this picture. Sorry guys, it went to the wrong place. Oh, mitochondria. Yes. If you observe this plant cell and human cell, see, green color one is plant cell and this one is human cell. In this you can observe mitochondria. See, mitochondria. This is in spear shape or rod shape. In this also we have this mitochondria. Okay, clear? Going back. So it is in rod shape, cylindrical or rod or spherical shaped structure found in cytoplasm. It is surrounded by double layered membranes, and inner membranes has many fold called cristae. The fluid presents, see, cristae. The fluid presents inside mitochondria is called matrix. So the fluid is called matrix and many folds called cristae, which contain many enzymes and coenzymes. Mitochondria is considered as prokaryotic cell inside eukaryotic. So outsider is called eukaryotic and insider is called prokaryotic cell. Functions. Mitochondria is the respiratory site of cellular representation. So it is also called lungs of the cell. So what is the use of lungs? Mitochondria synthesize energy-rich compound ATP. ATP. It is also known as powerhouse of cell. Mitochondria is also called as powerhouse of the cell. It is very important thing. Which one of the following is called as powerhouse of the cell? Option is mitochondria. So this is all about this class, and from this Golgi bodies I will explain in the next class. If you can just go through this video once again and mark whatever is important for your examination as per your examination point of view. Like for UPSC it is different, SSC it is different, like that. You should prepare your notes. Thank you for watching. Take care.